Yo, what's up, guys? It's Quan. Today I'm making a conlang. I already got started on this. So I want this language to be polysynthetic with fusional affixes. And I want it to be semi-naturalistic. I want it to be standalone, which means there's not really much of a world to go along with it. I want it to have a fluid S active stative alignment, and I want it to be a language. Yes. Head marking, embedded auxiliary verbs, or circumfixes, depending on how you analyze it. Extremely long morphemes and words in generals. I want an impure abjad syllabary. I guess you're confused on what I mean here. Let's open up, like, Paint, right? Or, what's the Mac equivalent of Paint? Google Drawings. We open up fucking Google Drawings, right? So let's say we have this character. We have this character. This. All right. This means. So let's say. Let's take the English word count. Right. So in the abjad, I would split this into syllables, which is cow, which would be cow, and then or I guess this would be one syllable. Yes, would be one syllable, right? I'm not really sure how to represent this. It's like a syllabary, because if we take out the vowels, it'd be kunt, right? Kunt, kunt, kunt. Yeah, couldn't. So OU is the nucleus. We take the nucleus out. I guess we could have like one character for the coda. We could have one character for the coda, one character for the So like let's say this character is C, right? This character is C. And then this like the first half of this character is the onset, right? Which is in this case C, and then the bottom half is nt, right? Which I'll draw like that, right? This is C. That's how I'd regraph the English word count into this hypothetical abjad, right? Impure abjad. Ow is not a schwa, so it is represented in this as some symbol. Say it's two strokes, like this, right? And that'll be my word. Ka. Ow. Nt. Let's say I want to make count of apples, right? Count of. So we'll leave the top blank. We'll have some symbol for blank. Let's say just a circle, and then some sort of F, right? Which will say it's this, and then which will say it's one stroke. Right? Which is null initial. Forgot how much I hated Google Drawings. O and NT, right? And T. And I mean F, yeah. Null initial OF. And I have another word which is apples, right? Which is two syllables actually. So you have to think about how I'm going to combine syllables. I know you're probably thinking, why are you worrying with the writing system now? You should worry about this last. I know, I'm just getting a rough idea of what I want the language to look like. So, apples. So another null initial. I'll say is this. And then P, I'll say is this. Right? That's and pulls. P. Pull. App. Ools. At least I assume that's how the syllable works. Ooh. Ools. That's a schwa. Right, so I don't include anything, and I do a like that. Right, count no initial of apples. That's what I mean by impure syllabary abjad. Impure abjad syllabary. Okay, I want this to be fluid S, active stative. I want this to have obviation and polypersonal agreement. I want this to have, so basically, my aim for this language is to be hardest possible language for native English speakers to learn, right? 7, I want this to have it's like also have quirks. What's like one distinction in like phonemes that'd be so subtle to an English speaker, but like so obvious to literally anyone else? Tone, right? I could do tone. My native language is Cantonese. My mother tongue is Cantonese, so I'm pretty good with tone. I would say, 我嘅母語係廣東話. So yeah. I think this will go great, honestly. Tones. Right? Phonemic stress? Phonemic stress, but like it's not represented in the writing, right? Like, sort of like in English, you know, you have, I forgot what the example was. It was like a stereotypical example. Anyways, you know what's like a super evil idea, right? You know how in active stative languages, in ergative languages, there's the SAP thing, right? P. And active stative languages, in non-accusative languages, in ergative languages, these two share a marking, and this one is a different marking. So what if, for verbs with a valency of 3, let's say I have an agent, I have a patient, and I have a beneficiary or experiencer, right? Agent, a patient, and experiencer. Like, for example, Mary gave John the box. What if I mark all three of these with separate cases. Oh, but it's going to be naturalistic. I gotta explain how that goes. Got that. Okay, well, I could... Actually, I'm not sure what most ergative languages do. Bitransitive verbs in ergative languages. Ergative absolute languages. Is it not bitransitive? Ditransitive. Oh. Theme? Okay. Donor, theme, and recipient. Donor, theme, recipient. So I was totally wrong about that. Indirective, secundative, neutral, split P. Does that mean I could make a fluid P language? Oh, oh my god. I want to do that. So in this language, the S is split. Right, it's a split S. It's a split S. But, and then it's the, I just have like, oh man, this is me nightmare to learn. The whole different case that also marks these, and another case that marks this. Should I add like a tritransitive verb? Like something along the lines of Mary gave Jane the box which bounced. Or Mary gave Jane, or what is this? Donor gives recipient the theme, which descriptor, right? Like, I know this won't be fully grammatically accurate in English, but Mary gave Jane a box, which frog, right? Gave something which had some distinctive characteristic of being like a frog, for example. That could be a tritransitive verb. Tritransitive verb. I could totally just do that, couldn't I? And then I have to make up some new like terminology. For now, let's get back to the aims. Fluid P language. What the P conveys, what information the P conveys, I have no idea, but I want to do it. Do those exist? I mean, fluid S languages are very rare. I don't think they exist. Fluid patience languages. Okay, whether the verb has volition. I could try to reason that an animacy distinction in this case it wouldn't be split P, it would be split T, right? Split T alignment. Right? Depending on whether the theme or the object has volition or not. Or whether it has it is capable of making decisions, or it is capable of being in a state of being. Like, for example, Mary gave Jane Mary ergative gave Jane absolutive. The rock absolutive. What even is the ergative case? What does it convey? Oh, it means nothing else. Okay. So Mary ergative gave Jane unmarked the rock absolutive versus Mary ergative gave Jane unmarked the dog ergative. How would that work? What I could do, I could have two separate cases for this and that, and then have these share a theme. Oh, hell yeah. I don't know what I'm going to call these cases, though. The thematic? Like the, What do I keep forgetting this? The donoric and the reciprocal. I'm just going to roll with that. The donoric and the reciprocal. So, the reciprocal is unmarked. Reciprocal goes unmarked. Right? So then, it's either marked. The theme can be either marked as nominative, accusative, ergative, or absolutive, depending on the state of the depending on the state of the donor and the recipient. This is genius. If the donor did not have volition, then the theme would be marked based on whether, if the donor was not conscious, this would be based on the theme of the, this would be based on the consciousness of the theme to decide, like the combination of the consciousness of the donor and the recipient. Then you may be asking, but Quan, how can an inanimate, unconscious object possibly be implicated as the donor of a transitive verb? Well, great question. Those shoes gave him the advantage. right? In billiards, that ball, the black ball gave the white ball the boost that it needed, right? This is like a practical thing here. Kind of. Anyways, yeah. 10 noun classes. Then marked valency. It would be hilarious, just like marking how many arguments a verb takes. Like, well, what would happen if I well, in English, right? Some verbs do this, right? Like, at least in the sense of, I spin. I spin her. I spin them towards the wall. I spin them towards the wall. I spin them towards the wall with spikes. And I could keep on tacking on these verb after verb after verb after verb if I wanted. But what if it didn't have to have verbs? Marked valency as an argument in verbs. Great. We gotta fuck with the counting system, right? Like, what counting system will really fuck with English speakers' heads? A mixed radix of base 17 and base 13. I just make like an ungodly phonology with like I can't pronounce adjectives though. This is be easy for me to pronounce. Like, and do the kind of the, but I can't do them in the middle of words. Like, Bibliardian had that one language like tabu, dama, or something. I can't do the adjectives in that. Tabu, dama. I need to do them individually. So I'll write down phonology with many rare sounds. Like or like some click sound like that. I cannot do implosives at all. I don't know why. I can't. People say it's like the glugging sound when you make water. When you like try to imitate someone drinking water, right? Well, I can't imitate someone trying to drink water. Well, I can kind of. I don't know. Okay. I want to do this language with two writing systems, right? One that's just like one that's the syllabary I talked about earlier, right? And then one that's just the romanization of that. Yeah. One that's the syllabary and one that's the romanization of said syllabary. And I want the And I want the romanization to be sort of cursed as well. Like, you know what I mean? Like, with a bunch of crazy accents and stuff. You know how in Hmong, where they like use letters for tones? Yeah, kind of like that. I also want to do vowel harmony. Specifically ATR vowel harmony. Because I want to learn more about that. But instead of it being enforced through roots, like when you speak, you have to morph the inflections such that it follows vowel harmony. Or if you're unable to, you must insert a harmony spread ATR blocking vowel. I forgot what epinthetic. Yeah, does that count as an epinthetic vowel? If it's just like a vowel that you insert into a word because you need to block vowel harmony for it to be considered grammatically correct. Yeah, I have kind of a lot of aims for this. Yeah, I've been going for 27 minutes. Haven't even established like the baseline for my content yet. All right, let's make some sheets and let's write this all down. Morphosyntactic alignment. Inflections. Yeah, I'd like these to be fusional as well. So in the case of the syllabary, I guess it'd be something like 1 or 2 syllables for every case. Right? Like the root is... I have a really funny idea. You know triconsonantal roots, like in Hebrew and Arabic? What if I do triconsonantal roots but instead of inserting vowels, I insert cases? Like, for example, means to give, right? And let's say the case su means is the nominative case. Or no, is the root for pencil, let's say. And I don't know how I want this to fit with my like existing noun classes and stuff. Okay, first things first. Let's work on the easiest thing first. Noun class system. Noun classes. So I want there to be 8 different classes in order of... I want to say animacy. In order of volatility. Yes. How likely something is to be unpredictable. So lowest volatility, I would say, is something inert. Right? Like it does not move, it does not speak, it does not think, it does not do anything of the sort. It does not, like a being which would think does not use it for anything in particular. So for example, like I mean immediately use it. Like obviously humans use almost everything, but rock, sand, those technically move, don't they? What don't move? Like at all. Something very, very predictable. Yeah, I'll do like things like on the ground. Wood, dead wood. Ash, sand, iron, rusted iron, clay, dirt, noun classes to synthetically inert. Metal bar, metal pipe, socks. No, I don't. I want socks in a separate category. Plastic. Cardboard. A synthetic material or object that does not move and is not involved in anything, the operation of anything movement related. Biologically movement regulated. Volatile. Herbological. Well, concepts. Abstract. Concepts, philosophy, thinking, language, in meta stuff. Abstract concept or idea that does not physically exist, but exists purely as in your consciousness. So phytogenic is 4. Sock, glove, tree, clothing, tree, machine, okay, I'm back. Clothing, tree, machine, thing from an animal, animal product, beef, chicken or beef. Which a naturally occurring thing which moves or comes something that has a class 6 volatility or higher. Yeah, you know what? Let's just say Animacy. This is basically just Animacy anyways. A naturally occurring thing which moves or comes from... Yes, the idea for this whole thing comes from Liardian. Something that is class 6 Animacy or higher. Or a synthetic thing or a synthetic object which has movement related purposes, enabling purposes, but is not but does not move itself. Like wheelchairs, walking sticks. Next up is, I want to classify this as anything that's synthetic that moves. But I also feel like I need to add a little bit more like nuance into it, you know? You know what? Let's do volatile. Hazardous. Reactive. Venus flytrap. One of those funny plants that close up when you touch them. Let me find it. These things are all over the place in Hong Kong with shame plants. When you touch them, they close up. This is what I mean by I want, like, a reactive organism. It's not one that's necessarily alive, but it's one that can react in a fast span of time to outside stimulus. Shy, what is it called again? Sensitive plant. Hot oil. potassium a naturally occurring or synthetic object which can react or which can react quickly to any changes in its surroundings. Like, for example, a tree can grow like around like a metal rod that you place above it, but it takes like months to do so. So that does not count as reactive too quickly to changes in its surroundings. Just yeah, synthetic objects which move. I don't know what name to give it though. Like, should I call them transitive? The transitive class. I guess it'd be technically correct. Transitive. It's a bit weird using transitive in a context that's not like, verbs. So examples, car, fan, reactive, like light bulb, right? When you flick the switch, it turns on. Car, fan. Just like really anything electric that moves like continuously, right? Ventilator. A naturally occurring or synthetic object which reacts quickly and in a way such that it continuously moves for long periods of time. Next up is bestial, right? Should I make like a racist class, like a class that fell out of use before because it was used derogatorily towards people of other races or sexualities or genders or whatever? And this, as such, this case has fallen out of use. I mean, I could. Tiger, whale, fish, pigeon. A naturally occurring object which can execute more complex movements based on instinct and intelligence, but cannot feel emotions or have self-awareness. What should I call this? Conscious. Crow, pig, cat, dog. Naturally occurring object. Self-consciousness of crows. Sociality and self-awareness in animals. Orangutans, bonobo, cleaner wrasse, orcas, dolphins, elephants, ants, Eurasian magpie, garter snake, dogs, which demonstrates a degree of social awareness. Big cat, dog, orangutan, most great apes, garter snake, orca, dolphin. Adaptive. I'm gonna call this one adaptive. Human and artificial intelligence. Paste. So I'm gonna make this 10. Right. Discriminatory. Derogatory. Derogatory. None. Any person of higher animacy I see that is referred to in a derogatory manner. Any being. Insult based on intelligence and a lack of self-awareness. Shameless bastard in English. Artificial intelligence. Being capable of iterating upon itself and its observations to create new conclusions based on existing data. Deictic. God. a higher being on a higher plane of existence which does not exists only in myth and legend. Omniscient being. Big brother. What else? Someone that can watch you no matter where you are. Santa, right? Well, I guess that's it. See you next time for more conlanging. Bye.